We're at the Golden Triangle, just like the sign says. So we're obviously we're in Thailand, and across the river is the Mekong River, no less, is Laos. And they built a huge casino over there since I've been here. I was last here, I think, in 2015. And you can, if you just want to cross over, this is where you cross. Again, all these places will be on a map. Just click the link below. But you can see the ferry down here. It's this white one. It's like 100 baht or something to cross. And then you can get one, if you want a private boat, you can get one of these private boats. I think they're like 500. All right, we're gonna go take a boat tour. Chung Hoi has a boat tour planned for us. So. Next up, this is the 212 House of Opium Museum. It's some college students put it together. Originally, and a lot of people donated since. It's a collection of opium-related paraphernalia and history. Wow, it says here that opium originated in Greek. 3,000-year-old ivory opium pipes were found in Cyprus. It's early as 1000 BC. And then, of course, it migrated from there. Cyprus, then across the Middle East to Afghanistan, which is now the #1 producer. Eventually it made its way to the Golden Triangle where we are now. So here's a painting of the area. Here you have the Mekong and the Nam Rock. And this is Myanmar here. Here we have Thailand. And over here is Laos. So this poster here is talking about one of the legends for the origination, where opium comes from. And it said that this woman was so beautiful that 7 men fell in love with her at the same time and all asked if she would marry them. She didn't want to break 6 of their hearts, so she said that she would make love to all 7 of them. And when one of them when they start getting jealous, she asked that they would kill her, and that from her grave a flower would grow, and that all people would, once they tasted it, they would want it over and over and over again. And that's the story of the opium flower. You've probably heard of the hill tribes in Thailand. There's 9 of them. These are the names of them. And the populations, they range from about 20,000 to 350,000 people. In fact, in Chiang Rai, they represent about 25% of the entire population. But this is their calendar. And almost all of them have on it poppy seed collecting. And so here's the life of a poppy seed. This is a poppy seed here. And you plant it and grow opium poppy flowers that look like that. And these, once the petals drop off, the pod is ready for harvesting. Mature pod. White latex gained by incising mature capsules. Oh. Narcotic, dry, darkened, slightly sticky latex mass. So the narcotic comes from the white latex once it dries. Dry opium pods. I'm surprised to see all this here. I guess maybe it's not illegal until it's turned into a powder or something. I don't know the rules, but it's all here in the museum. Kind of fascinating. What you're seeing here is ancient measuring tools. And the scale is obvious, but the little weights, those are used to tell you how much opium or gold that is on the opium gold side, and the weight goes on the other side, and when they're even, you have that amount of opium or gold. And these are all opium pipes. You smoke your opium. Then there's the chemical process to turn opium seed into first morphine and then to heroin. Of course, if you're ever going to be operated on, you're probably going to be happy about heroin or morphine, but it's definitely something you're not going to want to touch recreationally. It's killed way too many people. In fact, I lost my cousin about 5 years ago to it. Here in the museum, they also have these water pipes, very extravagant, for smoking tobacco and marijuana, it says. The hill tribes is called Long Neck. They have a few pictures here. We're going to try to sneak over there to Thursday, 2 days from now, to visit that village. You pay a fee to wander around there. But here's what it's a tube bent in a circular position. I guess it just gets longer as you get older. It's 50 baht per person to get into the Opium Museum, which is like $1.60. Next door to the Opium Museum on the north side of it is this temple. There's a beautiful golden Buddha here for your enjoyment. Hopefully it will silence your mind. You may recognize this young man here. I believe that's the recently deceased king. His son's running the show now. And of course he's quite young in that photo. He died in, I believe, in his 90s. Check out Buddha's view here. Amazing! I love how Thailand must have been one of the first countries that Buddha went to after he left India, because he's very skinny in his photos, or I should say he's fit. But when you see the Chinese Buddha, he's usually very plump and older, so he must have visited there later in life, or at least that's what I say. Okay, we're literally in the Golden Triangle right now. That is Thailand. That is Laos. And straight ahead of us, that's Myanmar. And we're on the Mekong River. There are some Americans who, those words all mean something too. People that served in Vietnam. And also, much of the heroin entering the U.S. during the Vietnam War was transported on American military aircraft. And it originated from this area. It's been confirmed. In fact, you can find it in all sorts of credible sources. The Golden Triangle. Okay, so we asked a bunch of boats up and down the river on the Thailand side, what does it cost? We'd heard 100 for the ferry, 500 for a private boat, and 1,000 for a private covered boat. And it's really sunny today, so we thought let's go for the private boat. I don't know what I was thinking, but we didn't say, hey, 800, 700. We didn't try to bargain. So, but anyway, 1,000 is about 30 bucks, so it's 15 bucks each. You get a boat, you get a driver, you cruise up and down. They take you to the Lao side, and the Lao, you charge 30 baht on the Lao side, which is $1 entry, and then they have shopping over here.
some person that we back.
Isn't the market is here?
Lao.
Lao market?
This is my third time in Laos. The first time was one of these trips. I came across the river. Second time I was there a couple weeks. Great place, check it out. Third time, hey, here I am again. But 40 minutes in Laos, does that count? Can you tell someone you've been to Laos, been there 40 minutes? Some people have airport rules. Oh, I was in the airport. That's not it, but if you leave the airport, other people say, oh, you gotta be there at least 24 hours. How do you decide when you've been to a country? Is this gonna be on your list, Chung Hoi? Can you tell people you've been to Laos now? Yeah? Chung Hoi says this counts. I think I counted it too when I was here for 40 minutes the first time. So we're in a very remote area of Laos. If you're starving to death and you can't eat Lao food, you're really kind of in trouble. There's just no way you could survive here.
Can't see here. And for you, you have to say, if you feel like you have less energy, you need to have more energy.
Yeah.
And you don't want to travel to Laos, but you are in Chiang Rai.
Yeah.
Just come here.
Yeah.
And go to get the scorpion or the
Scorpion
snake.
whiskey.
Yes, whiskey.
Locally, they believe if you eat scorpion or snake whiskey,
Yeah.
you get a big boner. All right, kids. Our 40 minutes are up. Uh-oh. Lost Chung Hoi. Oh, she's back there somewhere. Our 40 minutes are up. Back on the Thailand side. So this is Wat Pa Sak. And obviously it's a Buddhist temple. It was built around the 13th or the 14th century. The name comes from the king that was ruling at that time, so they believe it was built about that time. You know, whether or not ribs from Buddha will transfer the energy of Buddha's is an interesting question. In my opinion, Buddha is all, just like Christ or God. It's the unifying energy. So whether it's his ribs or his hair or the ground he walked on or the air he breathed or everything in the universe, it would carry the same kind of energy. And so this area, this city, this world, this universe is no less revered, whether or not Buddha's ribs are inside of that temple. Isn't this beautiful? And of course Buddha is everywhere, like Christ or whoever you believe in. We're cruising down the freeway and we saw a sign for Mountain Creek Golden Triangle Vineyard. So we thought we'd check it out. It's a long drive, might not check things out along the way, right?
There's no wine here?
I don't know.
Wine?
Do you have wine?
Wine? Oh, sorry, no wine.
No wine.
Yeah, finished, no wine.
Finished wine, okay. But it's a beautiful setting, so we're going to have a bite to eat. It's just gorgeous. There's some rice paddies over there. I don't know if you can see it or not, but just really gorgeous here. And they do in fact have vineyards. From here we're going to a tea plantation on the way home. Holy shit, the drive from that mountain winery place to the tea plantation we're going to, look at this. Is your mind blown or what? Next stop, the Chow Fung Tea Plantation. Alright, let's see what's going on in here now.
It's like it's like you buying a beverage and then having a tea here.
Yeah.
It's not like in Cayman Islands. You can see how the tea produced.
No, it's not a tour, you mean? Pretty amazing. Look at this down here. Got a green tea cheesecake and a iced
Green latte.
green latte. Latte is delicious. Now it's all up to the cheesecake to make the final determination.
Oh,
Is it good?
yeah, it's very good. I just think that the way that we want to go. Long way.
That's good. Nice. Last time I was in a tea plantation, I think was in Indonesia. If not that, it was probably in India. I remember the one in India specifically, but I've been in one since that I think was Indonesia. And they're all very similar. In India, I was watching them clip the leaves of the tea off the top. You can see how they're clipping off the top. And they were doing it by hand. They had employees doing it by hand that were generational. And here they're using like people walking like a motorized trimmer. Two people walking on each side of the plant and some kind of trimmer they're holding in their hands that's curved and cuts it and dumps it into a bag as they walk. And so it's I'm sure it's much more efficient and cheaper on the plantation owner in terms of number of employees and stuff. This is really a gorgeous setting, as you can see.